Hey, good morning, folks. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update. And what I see in the big picture is, again today, even more just a slight little more trend toward warmer temperatures. We've been kind of watching this, 6 to 8 days out. Will a chilly spell come down for another day or two? And it looks like that's kind of gradually disappearing. Now, I mentioned the 80 degrees, but I do want to preface that it's going to be until next week at some point when we flirt with that. All right, for today, we have some areas that have bright sunshine right now. We also have some areas on the west side of the state that have fairly thick clouds. And you see the thick clouds in the UP and northern Wisconsin moving southeast. That's a little disturbance. That does have some precipitation with it. Hey, good morning, Dennis Steele from Macomb and Rena Coble from Howell and Rose Mitchell from lovely Muskegon. So here is our radar right now, and you can see the spotty showers trying to move toward northwest lower Michigan. Those will be drying up, but they could still hold together for a brief shower or two. High resolution rapid refresh radar forecast. Let me get it to the right size for you here. All right. High resolution rapid refresh radar forecast, noon, 1 o'clock, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has been tending to run a little bit slow. So what that says is at 3, 4 in the afternoon, the west side of the state around Ludington and Manistee and Benzonia might have a couple of spotty 15-minute showers, and those might head southeast towards Saginaw through the evening and overnight hours. Let's look at a different model that goes a little bit farther out. It's kind of a little more aggressive with a patch of rain in central lower Michigan. This is this evening, 8 o'clock, 9, 10, 11 o'clock, midnight. So it wants to develop some showers around Big Rapids and Grand Rapids and Muskegon. A thin ribbon there that heads towards Saginaw, heads toward the southeast. This is tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. So I think we better look for a stripe of some showers across the middle part of lower Michigan. This is noon tomorrow, and 1 and 2, and this is tomorrow evening. So we could kind of have a stubborn area of spotty showers tomorrow that lifts north. Now we go into Saturday morning and everything lifts up into the UP. Sign of the warmer air shoving that rain zone northward. This is that same model, and it's probably a little overdone on precipitation, but this is what it wants to do through Friday evening, and it wants to bring a streak of 1-inch rains. It would take thunderstorms to do that from Ludington to Big Rapids to Mount Pleasant to the Saginaw Bay City Midland area. Now, if you're in Grand Rapids or Kalamazoo or Lansing or Jackson or Ann Arbor or Detroit, Oakland County, it looks like you mostly stay dry out of this. So then let's look at what I've been talking about in my tease as to the slightly warmer trends. So remember, if you've been watching the last couple of days, there's been the indication maybe a little cool patch backing down from the northeast. You won't see that so much now, and we saw it just about cut in half yesterday. Oh, Paula Eckert reminds us, Cinco de Mayo tomorrow. Yes, good call. Okay, so let's go into the weekend. Saturday looks good. Sunday looks good. Notice the cold air off in the northeast. Next rain, probably Monday night or Tuesday. That's Tuesday morning right there. Moves through. And you're starting to see the upper level temperatures become more consistently warm. And right there, Thursday, you're starting to see the upper level temperatures go up with maybe some showers by the end of the week. But we go out 10 days and you don't really see anything cold in our region. You still see the little pocket up to the north in Canada, but it's retreating as it should be. Oh, yes, here's a little closer of a look as we go into the weekend. This is Saturday afternoon. Looks good for lower Michigan. This is Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. Looks good for lower Michigan. This is Monday night, Tuesday. Looks good. So let's take a look at the temperatures. And, sometimes I indicate to you, I think, this model might be a little bit too cold out at the end or too warm. In this case, I think it's pretty good, except that, to get into the 80s, we need a pretty good southwesterly wind at this time of the year. And this pattern doesn't look like it would sustain a really summery type southwesterly wind. That's why I think 80 will be probably about our peak in the next 7 days, but it's better than snow, right? All right. Steve had a pool. Can I put out hummingbird feeder? Yes, you can. I think we had a story on MLive that the hummingbirds are back in the area. So today we make it to about 60, let's call it. Tomorrow, Friday, southern half of the state, Saginaw to Big Rapids southward, you're looking at mid to upper 60s. Northern lower Michigan, you're still looking on the chilly side because of the showers around. Saturday, looking at 65 to 70 in most places, except northeast lower. Sunday now, this model has jumped into the low 70s, and that certainly is likely. Hey, good morning, Steve Swanson and Kathy Jones from Auburn Hills. You're welcome, Steve Hedapool. And this is Monday in the 70s. This is Tuesday. Remember, that's the day we could have showers. So if you don't have showers, you can be warm. If you do, you're cooler in the 50s and 60s. And then Wednesday in the 70s. Now, this is where the 80-degree reading starts to take over on Thursday. Certainly possible. And then Friday, next Friday, 80-ish. And next Saturday, 10 days out, of course, that would depend on what kind of precipitation we would have. Now, let's look at one last thing, and I just kind of wanted to show you that everything continues to keep indicating toward normal temperatures to slightly warmer than normal. I've got to get a bearing for you on what is normal. Mid-May, normal is about 70 degrees on average in the southern half of lower Michigan. So when you're talking about normal, you're talking about a lot of days of highs of 70 to 75. You get a rain in the middle of the day. Maybe a day is capped at 68 or so. But point being is pretty doggone nice weather coming up. And we just never believe it because of what we always go through here in Michigan. Here's the 6 to 10 day forecast, May 9th to 13th. Leaning, like I said, toward slightly warmer than normal. Near normal amounts of precip. 8 to 14 day forecast, leaning towards slightly warmer than normal. So that would give us a good chance of being normal to, a couple of degrees warmer than normal. That's through May 17th with precipitation acting below normal, perhaps. So it's getting better. It's getting better, let's call it 20% every day. So we'll be somewhat better today and get the spring clothes back out. Yes, it will really happen. And we know there's always one ending story in weather. Always. The sun wins out and we always have spring and summer. Spring may be condensed sometimes, but it's coming. It's not a fantasy. Take care. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Please hit the share button, as always.